Do your parents want you to study something you hate? Or are they trying to push you down a path you're not trying to take? Well, you're not alone. And in this video, we're going to talk about why, despite their best intentions, we really shouldn't be letting our parents decide our career choices for us.
Free as a bird, on light wings I ride. Free as I fly.
Having immigrant parents can be really difficult sometimes. I know from my own personal life, as well as the lives of those that are very close to me, that oftentimes a huge source of tension within the relationship can be when our parents have goals for our future that don't necessarily line up with what we want to do with the rest of our life. Now, if your family of immigrants is anything like mine, then you probably know the 3 golden rules. Education is very important. Money doesn't grow on trees. And if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, then that automatically means you failed in life. When I was in grade 12, I had to make what seemed like a huge decision at the time. I had to decide on what university program I want to go to. Now, at the time, my mom suggested that I become an engineer or become an actuary because both of those jobs were relatively well paid, decently respected within society, and they both only required a 4-year degree. As a 17 or 18-year-old kid, and this is in no way to be negative towards my mom, but that just didn't make any sense to me. I knew that I loved chemistry, I loved biology, and I loved talking to people. So why would I go into a field that was dominated by machines and physics? I ended up telling my mom that, hey, listen, I know you want me to be an engineer, but I think I want to be a doctor. And at the time, her response was that she just didn't feel I was compassionate enough to actually become a doctor. Now, for those of you that know me, you'll know that I'm currently enrolled in an MD program, and that if all goes well, I will have my MD by July of next year. But before I get into why I think we shouldn't let our parents decide our careers for us, I also think it's equally important to acknowledge their perspective. There's no question that many of our parents have made tremendous sacrifices for us to be where we are today. I can't even imagine what it's like to get on a plane and go to a new country, have to learn a new language, and work in a job that you're overqualified to do simply because your foreign credential just doesn't carry over. And there's also no question that our parents have tremendously good intentions for us, wanting to work in high-paying, well-respected, and decently stable jobs. But at the same time, living the version of your life that someone else has planned for you ultimately leads to dissatisfaction. And I completely understand how difficult it is to chase a dream without the support of your parents. That's what I did for the last 4 or 5 years of my life. And that's where I turned to the story of Sadio Mané. For those of you that don't know him, Sadio Mané is a professional football player at Liverpool FC in the English Premier League. When Sadio was a child, his parents envisioned that he would cultivate the land and become a farmer. That's because in rural Senegal, that was all they knew. They knew that if Sadio became a farmer, he'd be able to provide for his family, and they knew it was a safe bet. Obviously, Sadio had other ideas. When he was 15 years old, he fled his village in rural Senegal to the capital city in an attempt to get recruited by any professional soccer team that would take him. Let me say that again. This 15-year-old boy was so sure in his abilities that he left home without telling anyone to try and become a professional soccer player. I think there's a lot of lessons we can take from Sadio's story. But for today, it will be that if you do what you love and you do what you're good at, then you will not regret it. It doesn't matter if it's art, music, or comedy, as long as you're both good at it and you love to do it. If you're just good at it, you might be able to make it into a career. You might even get paid well to do it. But if you don't love it, then you're not going to be able to maximize your full potential, and you're not ever going to be truly satisfied. Unfortunately, I think this is where a lot of immigrant parents will say, "How is that going to put food on the table?" But I think there's enough evidence that really any skill can be monetized.
At the age of 28, Sadio Mané makes 5.2 million euros a year. And he's been generous with his money too. He's donated millions of euros to support the country of Senegal. This includes building hospitals, schools, and his recent donation of 41,000 euros to fight the coronavirus.
So while I think it's important that we're very appreciative of the sacrifices that our parents have made for us, I think it's even more important that we as young people are honest with ourselves about what it is we want out of life. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy once we identify our passions. I'm not saying that it's not going to take work. What I am saying is that we only get one shot at life. And that one shot we get is just not worth spending on trying to gain the approval of someone else, no matter how much we love them. I've been fortunate enough to discover my passion at a relatively young age, and that happens to be medicine. But I would love to hear about what your passions are down in the comment section below. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my first ever YouTube video. If you like what you saw, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm all about motivation, self-improvement, and helping people improve their day-to-day lives. So if you like this video, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, and there'll be more to come in the future.
Yeah. Free as a bird, on light wings I ride. Free as I fly, bound to only the truth. Oh, free as a bird.